Good evening. Welcome to the quarterly program meeting of the Historical Society. And thank you to Betsy and Paul and everyone who's helped. So as always, we begin with a business meeting. And are there minutes to be read? Thank you. Carol Oviatt is filling in.
President, this is meetings of the general meeting, November 20th, 2024. President Debbie Bates called the NHS meeting to order at 7:32. There were approximately 65 people in attendance. Approval of minutes. There were no minutes from the last general meeting to read. Reports. There was no treasurer's report as the treasurer was absent for the business meeting. And Laurie gave the membership report citing that since June 1st, the Historical Society has received over 300 responses to our membership renewal request, bringing the number of active members close to 500. Announcements. The President made the following announcements. An upcoming annual appeal will be mailed out to members. The next scheduled general meeting will be in March. Community events. December 1st will be the lighting of the Tree of Hope at the Baptist Church at Caroling. December 15th at 11 a.m. the Luminaria will be assembled at the Latham Chester store, and all are welcome to join in. December 21st, Santa comes to town with caroling and a party afterwards at the Latham Chester store. The President adjourned the business meeting at 7:40. Respectfully submitted, Ann Laurie.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept the minutes? I see a hand and a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good. I didn't give you a chance to amend them, but
Did you have any amendment?
no, I don't think so. I hope not. Is there a treasurer's report?
No treasurer.
Oh, no treasurer. Okay, I thought I saw him. And a membership report.
There's not a membership report, but I just want to say a big thank you to those members who generously gave to the annual appeal. We really appreciate your additional support on top of your membership dues, so thank you. And I also, with the warmer day today, I was thinking about the summer, and we have a volunteer opportunity, which is to be a docent at the museum. If you like to meet new people and you want to share your love of Noank, we'd love to have you join us. It's maybe one afternoon during the summer from 1 to 4. I have a sign-up sheet near the cookies, so if you're interested, please sign up.
Strategic.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, is there any other business to come before the board, before the group? So, our next meeting, and things will get going as they do in Noank as the weather warms. We have Memorial Day Parade to look forward to. There will be the artist show, and with an opening reception. Do you have a date? No. But there'll be notices of that, and then our June annual meeting. So, is there no more business to come? We can adjourn. So, okay. Tonight's program is a second one of this type that we have done. A while ago we did one and it was well received, so we're trying it again. And we have oral histories that were done a number of years ago, people interviewing local dignitaries and people of interest. And Betsy has gone through these and pulled out some clips to play for us tonight. Before we begin that, I want to say that we are hoping to get going with another oral history project. Time to do that again. And tonight, all the people who were there are 5 people, and they were all native and lifelong Noankers. But you don't have to be. We'd be interested in hearing why you came to Noank, how you found Noank, and what it was like when you came and how it's changed, and anything else you wanted to say that might not seem that important right now, but 20 years from now it'll be really interesting to hear what people said. So if you wanted to do interview someone, that would be wonderful. If you wanted to be interviewed, whatever. We're hoping to get as many people as we can to give their thoughts about Noank and what their own reactions to it were. So, having said that, we'll go to the ones that have been pulled out for tonight. The first one is Albert Patterson. He was born in 1895 and here in Noank, the son of William and Mary Fitch Patterson. He grew up near the railroad tracks on Main Street. And then later in life, he lived in a house that he was a building contractor, and he lived in a house up on off Prospect Hill that he had lived in. He died in 1972, so some people here may remember him. Others may remember his second wife, Kitty Patterson, who was younger and lived much longer than he. But anyway, here he is remembering Noank from 1900 to 1910, when he was between the ages of 5 and 15.
There was a big change in Noank during the period from 1900 to 1910, when I was a boy here. 3 churches were built: the Catholic Church, the Episcopal Church, and the Methodist Church. I remember these well because the father built the Methodist Church. The shipyard at that period was reaching its peak, having contracts for many coal barges and railroad floats, which were to carry trains across the Hudson River. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these were still in use even now. These ships were framed with tough Connecticut oak and planked with long-leaf Georgia pine. During this period, many people came in here from Canada to work in the shipyard, both French Canadians and English Canadians. Previous to that, there had been many come in too, in the late 1900s and the early 20s. Many of these men were expert with the axe and adze, and also good ship carpenters and ship joiners. The Georgia pine was brought from Georgia ports of Savannah and Brunswick in 4-masted schooners. One of these schooners was named the Topa. The oak used in these frames was delivered to the yard by teams of 4 and 6 horses by Mr. Fred Barnes, whose son is in the furniture moving business in Mystic at the present time. During this period, people were having lights put in their houses, and also telephones, and more automobiles were appearing on the streets. Also, some were even having bathrooms put in. The trolleys came in during this period, so I saw them come in and I saw them go out. Also, during this time of interest to Noank people was the sinking of the Titanic, because 2 of our citizens lived in Noank, Mr. and Mrs. Kenyon. They were on the Titanic. Mr. Kenyon was lost and Mrs. Kenyon was saved. Later, they lived in a house which is now occupied by Chip Anderson. Mrs. Kenyon later married Owen Williams, who is well known in the village. Also during this period, the corner store was built with a hall on the 3rd floor. This building now houses the Universal Store. The first judge of probate's office was on the 2nd floor of this building, and the judge was the father of our present Judge Anderson. Also among the ships built at the Palmer Shipyard was the steamer Correction. She was built for the city of New York to ferry prisoners from Manhattan to Blackwell's Island. After the launch in Noank, there was a big celebration in Palmer Hall. The ship was sponsored by the daughter of the mayor of New York, whose name was Gaynor. And I believe he was here for the luncheon with his daughter. It was a big time for Noank. I never saw so many fancy people in my life. Up to that time. Somewhere about this time, the activity was moving on what we call under the hill, on top of the hill. The post office, Palmer Store, and the store owned by Roswell Fitch and run at that time, later, around the 1910s, was, I believe, run by Sam Rathbun. And Mr. Albert Perkins had a dry goods store in the same building. The post office was moved up to a place across from the Baptist church. The building was in front of the home formerly owned by Mrs. DeWolf. I don't know who owns the place now. Ed Searles was postmaster during the part of the time it was under the hill. Later, he built a store in front of his mother's house on Elm Street, where he sold everything from bicycles to rubber boots, to fruit, guns, cigarettes, clothing. Given time, you could find anything you asked for in either the store, the house, or the shed. He would whistle while concentrating on his finding the article. You name it, he had it. Yeah. Many pranks were hatched in his store while sitting around the stove. One prank which sticks in my memory was evening. The boys were having a crap game in the building which is now Hoxie's Art Gallery. This was sometime after World War I. The place was run by a colored gentleman by the name of Vander McNeil. The time was a cold winter's evening, and the smoke pipe at that time came out through the side of the building and turned up. Someone suggested that they tie a line on the stovepipe and the other end onto Leland Andrews' car. This was done, and Leland started down Elm Street, dragging the stovepipe behind him. And the gentlemen shooting crap were smoked out. Back to the time period just this side of 1900, Parks' Meat Market was located on the corner of Riverview and Main Street. Next to it was a Chinese laundry. The vicissitudes of the Chinese in Noank could fill a book. I was one of the boys who made their problems. Next was a confectionery store owned by Mr. Rathbun. I believe it was Ben's great-grandfather. Next to this store was Bill Cheesebrew's paint shop, paint and glass store, and upstairs was Oliver Smith's shoe shop. I believe that Mr. Kamara came to Noank and opened a shoe shop over at Mr. Rathbun's store about that time, about 1910. There was a barber shop run by George Main, and there was a grocery store run by Claude Chester, and a coal office in the same building operated by his father, Daniel Chester. On the river, this area was Bailey's Sail-Off, Payne's Engine Works, where steam engines were made, Bill Smith's boat shop, Latham Rathbun's plumbing shop, which was later run by Herman Webster. On the corner of the Spicer property was Dr. Miner's drugstore, which was later moved up the hill and is now at the corner of Main and Terrace and is used as a residence. In Front Street, there were stores run by Mr. Ingham, Elihu Potter, and Baker Shop on the first floor of Mechanics Hall, run by Mr. Hogan. I think Fred Rathbun had started his store near Potter's Dock about the latter part of this period. My memory of being a boy in Noank, it was good and it was busy. We used to take boar hogs, which we sold in the village for 20 cents a dozen. Went fishing, crabbing. Spent much time on Mystic Island, where Gippy Wilcox was the watchman there. There was an old hotel there, and there were a bowling alley and pool tables. We used to roll over and spend the day playing pool and bowling there. We had many good times there. Also, I have good memories of the Sunday school picnics, which we had at Atlantic Beach, Watch Hill, the Golden Spur, and also of the time that I spent with Austin Lamb on the vegetable wagon, peddling vegetables in Noank. I believe everybody that ever lived in Noank knew Austin. He died a few years ago. I also spent some time lobstering with Vern Davis, Vernon's uncle. We used to congregate at the railroad station in those days about 4:30 in the afternoon. That train from New London brought in the New London Day, and quite a few of the boys used to congregate there at that time and make it kind of visible for the station maybe. At 6 o'clock in the evening, a train stopped bound west and loaded fish for Fulton Market. Usually they had a carload of fish and lobsters headed for the market at that time. As for the social life of the village at that time, it was plenty of it. We had the Firehouse, the Daughters of America, the Junior Order of the American Mechanics, the Order of Woodmen, and the Golden Cross. There were box lunch, socials, whist parties, square dances. We weren't lacking for things to do. Many would spend an evening at the firehouse playing pool or cards. There were dances over the firehouse and music was from play a piano. Then there was the trolley. I remember when the trolley line was completed and the waiting room for the trolley was built. People used to come there early to wait for the trolley, and they would socialize there. Sometimes they would get so interested in their conversation they'd sit there while their trolley left, and then they'd wait for the next one, which didn't bother them too much because in those days they had plenty of time. The trolleys from the east and from the west passed on a switch in front of the present Noank Historical Society. They ran every hour in the morning and every half hour in the afternoon. We also had several trains a day, so it was much easier to get out of Noank then than it is now. One of the big events of the year was when the Kickapoo Indians came to town and set up their tent on the Latham lot on Front Street. This was the old-time medicine show. Crowds gathered for their entertainment, after which the Indians sold medicine which they concocted. One of the medicines was a tonic called Sagwa, probably the forerunner of Jericho. They came up with a plan to sell more of it, given a coupon with each bottle, and each coupon was for a vote for the most popular young lady in the village. The families of two young ladies spent many a dollar buying Sagwa. The Indians once claimed that their medicine brought out a tapeworm from an Armenian who worked in the shipyard and who was known as John the Devil. They sold many a bottle of the cure-all on the strength of this story, although there are those who said that the Indians actually brought the tapeworm with them to Noank in a jar of alcohol. No tale about the old days in Noank would be complete without telling about the 4th of July celebration. Rather, the night before, which was when much of the action took place, Ed Searles had a complete line of fireworks, including blank cartridges, pistols, high-powered firecrackers, skyrockets, and Roman candles. When the young and not so young left, there was a good supply of things happened. With a good supply, things happened. They would serenade the Chinaman, and I believe he only stayed in the town for one 4th of July. And then I'd watch for Tom Sawyer, who was constable at that time for his exodus from his home. And then they'd put the Roman candles to him and keep him in the house. The gates were removed from fences, and some of them ended up on a big bonfire, which was usually burning in front of the store now owned by Roy Adams. Somebody almost moved an outhouse from where it belonged and placed it in front of the trolley waiting room. Dan Chestnut coal wagons could be found most any place in the village where the pranksters would put them. Sharpies and dories were deposited on the church lawn and in many places in the village. One of the stories is that Billy Newman, working as a special constable, was put in a barrel and rolled down the store hill. He was good for the engine by this unasked for trip, and I don't imagine it was very comfortable.
Well, sounds like great times. Now on, we're going to jump forward a little bit to Howard Davis. Many in the room probably remember Howard. He was born in 1922 and died in 2011. He also was a native and lifelong resident of Noank and the son of William and Eleanor Maine Davis. He spent his childhood living on Spring Street. And in this clip, Howard describes growing up in Noank and the major impact that the Webb Eldridge boatyard and the Palmer shipyard had on him as a boy. Davis went to work at several boatyards in Noank and Mystic before taking a job at the Mystic Seaport's Henry DuPont shipyard, where he worked for 50 years.
I don't know why I got asked to speak to
more than 40 years ago could be questioned, and I got to be careful what I say, because an awful lot of people here that might remember what I say and disagree with me. I'll argue later today. But Noank to me was a small place when I grew up. It seemed to be that my Noank was the Noank School, and from there it was down Spring Street, and the Noank Baptist Church. That was Noank. Believe it or not, we didn't go hardly anywhere. Of course, we didn't have to go anywhere. Everything came to you. They would bring the groceries from the Universal store, the Peach Andior store then. They would come and take your order. They'd bring the groceries to you. And then the milkman would bring the milk to you. That's about the only institution that still goes on like that, I guess. The baker would bring the bread to you. And if you were saving water, as most people were in Noank, you'd call the Mystic Laundry. They'd come and take your laundry to Mystic. They'd wash it and bring it back for you. So everything was done for you, so you didn't have any occasion to go anywhere. At least I didn't. Of course, the fact that we didn't have an automobile might have something to do with it. And you had, of course, there were trolleys that went fairly close by the Methodist Church, but now I'm getting back this little before my memory's too good. I remember the trolley cars going to Mystic, but I ran on them about once. But I don't remember them going to London, because they stopped running in 1929. And then, but the main thing was the school. When I started coming to school, of course, Bill Mister and I both lived down Spring Street there, so he'd be in the moment and he saw that I got safely up to school my first few days, and from school we would go home by way of the post office. We would stop at the post office, get the mail, and then we would go through Jack Wilbur's yard. You had to save all the time we could in this hour. We'd go through Jack Wilbur's yard and come out by Charlie Chapman's barber shop, which is right across from where the Historical Society is. It's a house now. And then we'd cut across the corner on that property and come out over by the Methodist Church so we could save more time on our return down to Spring Street. Of course, he lived at the top of Spring Street where the Guyas live now, and I lived down where the Mrs. Douglas lives now. That was where I lived. It's one of the many places I lived in Noank. In fact, there's 3 houses in town I've lived in my life. The first house I lived in Noank, my remembrance of it is very small. They even tell me that it's not possible I remember living there, but I do. It was upstairs in Floyd Thompson's house, when that was a 2-tenement house. It was the first place I lived. From there, we moved to the 2nd floor of my mother's homestead, my grandfather's house, where the Douglases live now on Spring Street, next door to Gill's. And we lived upstairs. We made a slight move in 1938, we moved downstairs. We stayed there until 1943 when I moved over to Wilbur Court where I am now. But my play yard, as I tell people, was Webb Eldridge's boat shop at the foot of Spring Street, and over the other side to the Noank shipyard, or the real place where we had our activity was right down in Tommy Burdick's yard, where he lives now. At that time, George Hewitt lived there, and there was the remains of Jerry Davis' boat shop. There was a dock, a great big dock, you fellows remember it, and it was very hazardous. I'm sure if it existed now, or somebody would be after the zoning board to have them tear it down because it's a hazard. But no doubt it was hazardous. There was an occasional hole in it, but that for us kids was a great place. It was Bill Meester, George Hewitt, and myself were the ones who would be down there every day practically. Earl Crosman would be down there at times. And we would build make-believe boats. We'd have shops. And there was plenty of lumber there, and we had a source of nails. We knew where we could get nails, because over at Webb Eldridge's boat shop, he had a big hatch in the floor where he used to sweep all the shavings down so they could get into the cove, no support worry about pollution. And they'd go out, but the nails would sink to the bottom, and that was a constant source of nails for us. It was anything we wanted. Well, after dark, getting the little came for us, we got hold of some old boats that were just about afloat, and we would spend day in and day out on these boats trying to make them float. Well, 40 years later, I haven't got too much further from that. I'm still and Bill and George got away from it. George is certainly the fine furniture business now. We'd be down there. We'd be down there first thing in the morning, and it'd stay till noon. And I had a watch from the time I was very young, so I'd always be home on time to eat lunch. And we would work on these old boats. Well, that seemed to be I don't know whether that's where I got interested in boats or not. But, of course, being around Webster Eldridge's boat shop, and I've often wondered how he had the patience with the kids that hung around there, watching him work, and climbing in and out of the boats, and, well, Ivan Crosby worked there, and maybe he knows how Webb had patience. But anyhow,
Much.
well, he did with us. I'm sure I wouldn't have had the patience with kids hanging around my shop that he'd deal with us around there. And I made myself late for school 2 or 3 times to see a new boat launch. But every boat that was launched in that shop from 1930 on, I saw it launched if possible. And I can name quite a few of the boats that were there. And as I say, I just loved the boats and the boat shop. And then, when we wasn't playing down below, we did get a chance to see him build a boat. When down in Georgia, right over the fence in the Noank shipyard there on the West Cove side, they built a boat which was launched, I believe, in 1929 called the Mandalay. Then they started to build another bigger one, but they were building her with 2 bottoms in it for the purpose of carrying liquid spirits, and the Coast Guard found out about it, so they never finished that one. We did see the Mandalay built and launched right there, next door to where we were playing, so you can see how our interest in boats grew. And over the Noank shipyard, of course, my grandfather worked there, and my father worked there, and so I would spend a lot of time down there. We'd watch them haul the boats on the railway, work on them, go in the shops. But I think one of the biggest events in my life, and this some people don't believe, they tell me I'm not that old, but I am. I was aboard the Alice Pendleton when she was floating. The deck was leaning over an angle about this. When my father had to go aboard and check on the pump, because it was just another leaky old boat. And he had to go aboard to put gas in the pump or something of the kind, and he carried me up the ladder. I was 7 years old at the time when she first arrived, and I can well remember standing on that deck. And you can imagine a 7-year-old boy how gigantic that appeared. Those masts, which were really pretty near 4 foot in diameter, for a 7-year-old, they looked like the biggest thing in the world. But that is something I've never forgotten, was standing on deck of that boat. And there's pictures somewhere that were taken of me standing on deck of the Fish Hawk. That's the vessel that John Singham blew up when he first come to get rid of it. And there was another one, the sister ship, the Albatross, that laid there together. And I had my pictures taken on them. Well, the one time that we used to get around the point and get to see the other end of town was when we'd go by boat once in a while. My uncle had a boat. He lived in Hartford, so my father was custodian of this boat, more or less, and we would take a trip now and then. We would go from over in the West Cove, over there, by the foot of Cove Street, we'd go around the point, and up to Fred Buddington's dock to get gas. This was quite a long trip, you know, so you had those little 2-cycle engines that you had to bend over and turn it by hand and hope it would go. Fortunately, I was too young to do this. Somebody else always had to do it, and I could sit and watch them. I just enjoyed the boat ride. But we would go up to Buddington, which was just north of where the Round Mile Yacht Club is now, where the May Buddington lives. Her father sold gas there. You didn't go up to a gas pump then. You went up and got a 5-gallon can, carried it down the dock, and dumped it in the tank on the boat. Incidentally, this boat is still in existence, what's left of it. It's in Tryon's yard up there, only he sawed the stern off it and took its great beauty away. It had a long fantail yacht stern. It was a beautiful little boat. And on occasion, we would go shopping in Mystic by boat. We'd go up the river on a Saturday afternoon and tie up at Cottrell's, and there was an A&P store downstairs under the Oddfellows Hall, and we used to go shopping there. And this was also quite an event. But all together, until I was, you might say, 15 or 16 years old, I hardly went up the other end of town, except, as I say, to get gas in the boat. Or when my grandfather was down from Hartford, he'd go up to visit Fred Rathbun, who had the store up near Father's Dock, that was mentioned before here, and he'd take me up there to visit Fred with him. Otherwise, my Noank was all south of Main Street here. So I guess that's the main thing I've got to say. I'm too young to remember anymore.
Now we're going to hear from Bernard Davis, known as Bernie. Born in Noank in 1902, spent much of his life in the village, son of Elmer and Marianne Brown Davis, grew up on the corner of Pearl and Main Street. In this clip, Bernie shares several humorous anecdotes about Fred Clark, the Noank Men's Knowledge Club, and Cleopatra's Needle.
Well, I'll tell you, Clark, I've got something to say to Fred Clark.
Can we stop just a second? Does everyone know who
While
Fred Clark?
Fred
Anyone
was
wanna
speaking,
know
I
who
was
Fred Clark
reminded
was?
of
I
a
don't
little
know if this is
conversation we had the other day.
well, I know you know, but I wondered if people knew who Fred Clark was. Fred Clark grew up in Noank, and then he ended up on Groton Long Point, and he ran a kind of a general caretaker, but he'd had the trash business and the lawn mowing business, and really was quite quite an entrepreneur over on Groton Long Point, and beloved by the people there, but very much a part of Noank and active at the Noank Baptist Church. So he was a prominent person both in Noank and Groton Long Point. So anyway, on you go.
Fred said, you know, I have a very responsible position now. Actually, I have more than 500 people under me. I said, well, Fred, what in the world are you doing? He says, I'm cutting grass in the cemetery. There's one other thing we might talk on for a couple of minutes. I sometimes attended the meetings of what was known as the Noank Men's Knowledge Club. Now, this was a group that met in Ivan Crosland's workshop. Here, many problems pertaining to town, state, and even federal government were discussed. I often thought it too bad that some of our politicians didn't attend, but surely they could have seen some of their errors and possibly put on the right track. This day's meeting was called to order by our president, who informed us that our subject for the day would be skunks. He asked for suggestions, just how to cope with the situation, and told us the part one skunk had played in the village. This is the truth, now. There's no lies connected here. Mr. George Maine, a lobsterman, had a garden, and a skunk was giving him a lot of trouble. At last, Mr. Maine shot it, and after dark, took it down to Webb Elder's boat shop. Probably Mr. Maine wanted to give the skunk a good farewell, so he put in a building containing the shop's best lumber, that which was to be used for finishing purposes. The next day, Mr. Eldridge realized that an unwanted guest was present. He soon found the object of his search, and being a friend of all creatures, took it into his shop and installed a couple of wooden legs so they could sit up straight. Now, Mr. Eldridge knew that his friend Floyd Thompson was also a skunk father. He thought that perhaps if he could take the repaired critter over to Mr. Thompson's yard, especially after dark, it might induce the one that was bothering Thompson to come out to meet the visitor. So, Mr. Eldridge did, and placed same in the grass between the house and the outhouse. This was a very thoughtful move, knowing that, as he did, that Mr. Thompson had a gun. Now, Mrs. Thompson, during her evening walk, saw the skunk sitting there. She immediately went back to the house and said to Floyd, the skunk you've been trying to get is right side of the path. Floyd says, keep an eye on him while I get my gun. He came out at once, saw the skunk, and took a pop at it. He went over and examined his prey and said to his wife, Harriet, don't ever mention this. Across the street lived a warden, Mr. Wilcox. He had heard Floyd's gun and came over to see why the shooting. He said, Thompson, you've no right to use this gun. Floyd says, why? I have a license. The warden says, let's see it. Floyd showed him the license. The warden says, don't you realize this is last year's license? Yes, Floyd said, well, I am only shooting what I missed last year.
Another little story, perhaps some of you have heard. I got it from my Uncle Ernest. involves my father's uncle, who was Charles Davis. Now, Charles Davis apparently was the only smart Davis there was anyway, and he had a government job. He had charge of construction of lighthouses. And Deacon Palmer and Henry, of course, were perhaps about the same age, I don't know. They were young fellows in the village together, and they knew each other just as well as they knew they were brothers. And Henry was sent by the government to Egypt to order the ship on which that Cleopatra's Needle was brought back, which is in Central Park. It was the last I knew anyway, in Central Park. Well, the ship was gone about, I think during 6 weeks. And when I got back to New York, Henry was anxious to get ashore, of course, and believe it or not, one of the first ones he fell into was Deacon Palmer. So we said, Deacon, he says, I'm awful glad to meet you. He got caught up on the news, and Henry told him about the experience on the trip. And then he said, I'll take you just to see you, Deacon. I want you to be my guest. He says, we'll pick up a couple of girls, we'll go have dinner together and take in a good show. And the deacon says, no, Henry, no. Well, he says, I'll be responsible. He says, and here comes two now. He says, I'll speak to him. By that time, the girls were up to him, and Henry looked at one and he says, well, good afternoon, girls. He says, it's certainly a pleasure to meet two such nice-looking young ladies. And one of them looked at him and he said, oh, go to hell, you old gray-headed fool. He was cautioned never to mention that.
Okay, now on to Walter Palmer, Senior. 1899 he was born here in Noank, and he died in 1979. The son of Minnie and Captain Roswell Burroughs Palmer, grew up on Elm Street near Spicer Avenue, the oldest of 4 siblings. In this clip, Walter describes growing up in Noank at the turn of the century and shares his thoughts on Noank's good old days.
In those days, we had Sunday school picnics over on Mystic Island. They would take the light up from the shipyard. Wesley would tow up to the town dock. We'd take all the beacon fences, I guess you call them, out of the church and put them on deck, load all the women and children aboard. Tug Wesley would take us over to Mystic Island. At that time, the big hotel was still there on Mystic Island. Before that time, I had been over Mystic Island and bowled in the bowling alleys that were there. Of course, they weren't in first-class condition, but it didn't make any difference to us kids. We bowled anyway. And some of the picnics were, after the trolley road was built, we'd have an open car, a couple of open cars, we'd go to Atlantic Beach on that. My first actual trip away from home without my father and mother or any of the family along was when I was 7 years old. The 3-masted barge Greenwood was built at the shipyard. Captain Snow, who came from Cape Cod, stayed at our house while the barge was being outfitted. And I don't know how, but I wangled my dad's permission to go on the first trip on that barge. We went from Noank to Elizabethport, New Jersey, loaded coal, came back out and anchored in the lower New York harbor, waiting for a tow. And I can remember a bumboat coming along with, we probably had 25 or 30 big watermelons on it. And for 10 cents, you got a whole watermelon, which was wonderful, because I got a watermelon. But the next day I was sick, so that was that. We went from there, took the load of coal to Boston, and I came home on the train all alone, which was a big time for me to do that. Then the second trip away from home was on the Eleanor Hill, Captain Frank Fish. He came in from a fishing trip and stopped in Noank, and he offered to take me to New York to Fulton Market, which was wonderful. I went down to Fulton Market with him, and we were there 2 or 3 days, and then came back home. Then, probably when I was 10 or 11 years old, my dad got some wanderlust, or got tired of working in the shipyard, and he went captain of the barge Panther Creek. And that summer, he took the whole family on the barge. I saw my first aeroplane in Boston Harbor. It was coming up to the boat race. I can remember that. Now on Sunday, but there was no automobiles. So Tom Sawyer ran a livery stable, and my dad, maybe once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, on a Sunday afternoon, would hire the horse and a 2-seated buggy. We'd go on a picnic up Latin Hill, North Thornton, somewhere like that, spend all afternoon. Of course, we couldn't go in the morning because we had to go to church. On 4th of July, in those days, every bell in Noank was rung at midnight, the night before the 4th. Of course, the church bell at that time was a fire alarm, so some of the older people didn't think too much of that. So they hired a constable. The constable was Lawrence Ashcraft, who lived right over here. And he said, I'll make sure they don't ring the bell tonight. Which was fine, but at 12 o'clock the bell started ringing. They couldn't figure out how. They couldn't get up to the bell because the hatchway was nailed from the top. But the gang of us had they used to fish with trawls at that time, which was heavy cod line, and it was heavy. And there was these big elm trees right next to the church. So we ran a cod line from the church bell tower, that's where the bell is, over to the tree. And we were up in the trees waiting for 12 o'clock. The bell rang anyway. I don't know how many of you remember the pond that used to be down, well, it was by Billy Ballard Stream right now, between Burroughs and the railroad. We used to have a wonderful skating pond there. And that was where I first went skating. Then we had Lower Field and the ice pond, little skating. We used to skate quite a lot on salt water. I don't know, it seemed like the winters were just a little bit stiffer then. We used to take walks every Sunday. When I was 12 years old, I delivered milk for Frank Merritt. In those days, you took, 10-quart pail and a dipper, and he went down one street. You'd get out there and go across, and you'd deliver the milk to the different people all the way along. They'd set the pitcher out or something, and you'd fill it up. This one particular day that I recall, down by Skipper's Dock, there was 2 houses down there. One Manchester lived in at that time. It was a very high tide. In fact, it was up over the roads and everything else down there. And I took the milk into Manchester's door, and his wife and him were both in the door with brooms sweeping the water out. The tide had come up high enough to in there. Everybody says something about the good old days. I don't know. The good old days to me is today. But those good old days, we started in the morning. My dad went to work at 7 o'clock, so we had to get up around 5:30 to get breakfast and everything anyway. You got up, you lit the oil lamps, you started the kitchen stove. Of course, you got up, there was no heat anyway. It was, of course, it's chilly in the wintertime. You lit the wood stove, Mother would be getting breakfast. You went out and you chopped some wood, or you took the ashes out from down cellar or something. Anyway, you had plenty of work to do. Saturday night, you took the Saturday night bath. It's tough if there was more than one in the family because you had cistern water. So they would draw the wash, put the wash tub in front of the stove, and fill it about half full of water, warm enough so it could get in. Then the youngest one, would get his bath, which was, at those days was Bob, my brother Bob. Then Albert would get his bath. And then it would be my turn, but it's the same water. And then, after you got up there, you had to go to the toilet. About 100 foot out in the northwest corner of the lot were the chick sails. They never built those things tight, and the wind would blow, or it would be snow or something, and I would figure that was a chore. Your dress was a buster brown suit, stockings up above your knees, and I don't know why, but my mother sent me to school in the first kindergarten, the first grade, I guess they call it in those days. I had curls down to my shoulders. I was cute. One thing I think we miss about these good old days is the sociability. We don't have it anymore. We don't have time because you've got a TV in the house and there's a program coming on you've got to listen to, so you can't go visit your neighbor. You got an automobile, so instead of visiting your neighbor, you go New Haven, New York, Providence, somewhere else.
Okay. And our last one for the evening is Captain Ben Rathbun, Jr., born in 1928 and died in 2011. I suspect many people in the room remember him. He was a native and lifelong resident of Noank. He was the son of Anna and Benjamin Rathbun Sr., and he spent his childhood, I think he spent his whole life, on Riverview Avenue. In this clip, he shares his experience of the 1938 hurricane, which hit Noank when he was 10 years old.
Actually, the first really important thing that ever happened in our life, and people that grew up in my generation, of course, was the 38 hurricane. We remember things prior to that, but that was the big event in our young lives. I was 10 years old at the time, and about 10 is when you really you can really remember something back to about 10 years old, and after that, younger than that one, it's sort of a hazy memory. But I do remember that vividly. I can remember what the village looked like prior to that. Really was a hell of a mess, if you want to. That's about the only way to describe it. Well, before that, too, there was falling down shacks all over the waterfront, junk piled high, rotten lobster pots piled sky high all around, potboys all over the yards and between the houses. And really, they wouldn't allow it today, but I remember just about that time we were in school, the day of the 38 hurricane, and it was a bad day, and first thing you know, it started to get to be a worse day. And the wind got harder and harder, and first thing you know, my father and Alec Cuthbert, Mrs. Cuthbert was teaching in the kindergarten, I believe, at that time. I forget what grade I was in. I think I was in the fourth grade. I think I had Miss Holman at the time. First thing you know, my father came and Alec came charging in. Got to get the kids out of school. And we didn't realize in school just how hard it was falling, Me and Alec, when they come up over the hill, they were crawling on their hands and knees to come up over Store Hill, hanging onto the picket fence, coming up by the church there. We took us out of school, went out in the yard, and I'll never forget, until you've heard it blow 175 miles an hour, you just can't appreciate the amount of noise the wind makes. I know Howard remembers it, and all of us who are here remember the terrific, terrifying, really, roar that noise made, and all the elm trees. There was a lot of elm trees around Noank at that time, until the end of the day. And we went out of the yard, down this way up in front of, well, where Les Smith's had the gas station then, where Ray Coon is now, down through the cedar pasture and over to Halsted Brown's house. Because we couldn't get down over the hill, there was a couple of big trees down across here, and there's another tree down, I think, in front of Mrs. Oliver's about that time. And so we couldn't go that way. Trees were falling down all around. There was a big crash over the gas station. We went by, something fell down, come out of a tree. A tree limb came down in the yard there. We got over to Halsted's. My father put us inside, and he and Alec tried to get back down over the hill, and they couldn't get back downtown. There was trees coming down. About that time, they came rushing back in, and I remember Ray Coon. Ray had a fish market on the town dock at that time, up till that morning at any rate. The town dock was a lot bigger than it is now. We had a good-sized town dock, and a number of boats tied there, and I guess Ray had a reasonably good-sized market. I don't remember it too well, but it was a reasonably good-sized fish market, as well as there was a fish packing house there. They packed fish, and Ray had a market there. I remember Ray come running in, he said, "It's all over, it's all over." And of course, by that he meant the sea come up to the dock, and the dock was up in the yard, and his market was ruined, and of course his whole livelihood had been destroyed, and the windows were crashing in. And Halsted, he ran out to the back of that shed. The shed's still there, as a matter of fact. He grabbed up a sheet of plywood, or a piece of beaver board or something. He came out the door, and boy, the wind caught that thing, and he went skating across the yard there. Frank and my father were trying to hang on to it. They got it down on the ground, finally, I believe. They were nailing up windows. You know, the windows would, one window would come crashing in, and they'd be outside banging nails into the things, keep the water out of the house. And after a while, of course, well, it seemed like forever to us kids. I remember Lavinia Wilbur, Lavinia Wilbur now, was there. Halsted, and my father and Alec. No, Alec wasn't there. Alec took Eileen over to Bentley's place. After a while, the wind let up. It seemed like forever, and we went out, and we come out into a new world. Noank was never the same. All those big elm trees that were all over town were, I guess over half of them were down. It looked like an altogether different town to me. You know, kid, you'd always going up Church Street, for instance, was a lot of trees down across Church Street. Some of the lost chestnut trees were down. We walked out through the trees, through the wreckage out into the church parking lot, on top of the church roof. The church roof was sitting in where the parking lot is now. It was still blowing pretty hard. It must have been blowing 60, 70 mile an hour from the southwest right about that time. And I remember looking out, and it was just like an ocean, just like the ocean and the storm, and looking out in the bay here. Those big seas were rolling up across this thing there, and the spray was hitting the end of Noank there, or the end of Mason's Island, for those of you who haven't been here long. And that spray would go and was carrying almost all the way to the Mystic on the end there. Just like an ocean in there, great big waves. I remember my father's boat was tied at a stake. A lot of stakes then. He was tied to the stake out in front of our house. And while we were watching, I pulled the line over the top of the stake and disappeared up the river. The stream went across Sixpenny Island and disappeared into the mists. We went down to the house, and where my mother lives now, and gosh, there was some wreckage. We went in the house, and the wreckage was crashing up against the house because the sea was still up pretty high. The water was up about to where my mother's side door is now. The water's about that high, and it was wreckage piled up so you could walk into her front windows, and it was all bashing up against the house. Boom, crash. One wall was moved in about 2 feet. The other wall was moved out about 2 feet. There was bricks all through the house with the chimney falling down. All in all, you might say it was a mess. But we recovered. There was wreckage all over town. And anybody who lived there at the time, and as a young boy, I'm sure will never forget it. But the town actually probably was better off afterwards than it was beforehand, outside of losing all the shade trees, because there's about 100 years of old docks along the waterfront, and threw them all up into the streets, and the town took them all away, and we started it fresh again.
So, those are our stories of times gone by. I don't know if anyone has any questions or comments, or,
I have a question. When were these taped? What year, do you know?
Late 1960s.
yeah, and I misunderstood. I thought they were oral histories that had been done, but obviously it was a program or various programs like tonight's, only
So you
live.
said like the 60s?
Late 60s,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
I have a question.
yes,
They talk about Mystic Island and a big hotel. on
Yes.
Mystic Island.
we call it Ram Island.
Okay. Like, I don't see Mystic, okay.
Yeah, it was, I think someone may know more than I do, or lots of people may know more than I do. I think it was originally called Ram Island, but at some point they changed the name to Mystic Island. But then we now know it again as Ram Island. I don't know what what the timing of that was, but certainly at the time they're talking, it was known as Mystic Island. And there was a big hotel. There were steamers that came down from Norwich and brought people for the day. It was quite a place in its day. So, any other questions or comments? So, well, seems like those were the days. So, thank you all for coming, and help yourself to some refreshments.